Hello everyone, I'm Maricel Baybay and I'm going to answer the midterm exams, which is there's two questions. And number one, describe the nature, elements, and functions of verbal and non-verbal communications. Verbal communication, when messages or information is exchanged or communicated through words, is called verbal communication. Verbal communication may be two types, written and oral communication. Verbal communication takes place through face-to-face conversation. There's a group discussions, counseling, interview, radio, televisions, calls, memos, letters, reports, notes, emails, or etc. Verbal communication consists of sharing thoughts through the meaning of words. So, verbal communication is the process of exchange information or messages between two or more people through written or oral words. About the nonverbal communications, which is when messages or informations are exchanged or communicated without using any spoken or written words, is known as nonverbal communications. Nonverbal communication is usually understood as the process of communication through sending and receiving wordless messages. Nonverbal communications is a powerful arsenal in the face-to-face communications encounters expressed consciously in the presence of others and perceive other consciously or unconsciously. Much of the nonverbal communication is unintentional. Most of the time, people are not even aware of the fact that they are sending messages. Nonverbal communication takes place through gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, physical proximity, touching, or etc. And I have also here an example of nonverbal communications. Facial expressions. Facial expression as in smiles, grins, frowns, raising of eyebrows, winking, blinking, biting lips when tasting something good or bad. So that is example of nonverbal communication. And body language. Body language, fidgeting, trembling, shaking, sweating, crossing arms or legs, raising up and down on toes, scratching one head, and also the gestures. As in hand waving, hand shaking, pointing, any hand movement made to communicate a specific thing, such as arms stretched out of signal stop, hand over heart to express love for someone, rude hand signal in place of swear words, holding nose is one of example, and if bad smell, scratching head, if puzzling, covering ears to black out sounds, shrugging of shoulders to indicate one doesn't know or doesn't care, raising arms for help, examples of nonverbal. And last one is touch, is one of example. Feel as in if something is hot or cold, or strokes that caress. So example of touch. And question number 2, explain how cultural and global issues affect communication. So first, I am going to explain the communications. Communication at large reflect culture. As it's the product on a local and global level. Culture is given to us through early education, and it's hard for us to leave it totally behind. If not impossible, our parents give us the first good, the instructor of our thinking. It is the way we think that drives what we say, do, and create in our words and work. In our way of living and thinking, we express our differences and similarities within and across culture. The way we think is shaped by our tradition and influences we are exposed to through intrinsic evolution or external influences. The final result is shaped by our logic as well as pressure and appeals. So that's all. The I'm already answering the questions of midterm exams. So thank you and have a nice day.